Thank you for tuning in to Ace Point of View, evening, morning, or night. Whatever time you happen to be catching this, thank you for tuning in. Now let's get into this news. Headlines read, how to get a free bag of marijuana with the COVID-19 vaccine. It seems that they are coming with a lot of perks with this vaccine. But anyway, I'm not here to waste your time. Let's get into the story. It reads, get stuck and take a puff. Cannabis activist group DC Marijuana Justice plans to offer weed gift bags to those who get the COVID-19 vaccine in the nation's capital, the organization has announced. We are looking for ways to safely celebrate the end of the pandemic, and we know nothing brings people together like cannabis, wrote DCMJ co-founder Nicholas Schiller in a press release for the initiative, dubbed Joints for Jabs. So they're calling this Joints for Jabs. It never fails to catch some wild news. Anyway, let me continue. The group plans to hand out free ganja baggies at Washington, D.C. vaccination sites, both to commemorate what is hopefully the beginning of the end of the coronavirus pandemic and its advocacy for both reefer and getting vaccinated. To celebrate this momentous occasion and thank people for getting vaccinated, dozens of DC homegrowers will lawfully distribute free bags of cannabis outside vaccination centers as soon as the general public is able to get vaccinated, the release says. Further quoting Schiller as saying, when enough adults are inoculated with the coronavirus vaccine, it will be time to celebrate, not just the end of the pandemic, but the beginning of the end of cannabis prohibition in the United States. DC's Department of Health has not yet named the public vaccination sites, but DCM says they will release further details once those addresses and hours of operation have been made public. In the meantime, local growers have already pledged 3 pounds of cannabis for the giveaway, and DCMJ hopes to have a total of 5 pounds by the time they begin offering them to freshly vaccinated members of the public. The organizers plan to distribute loose cannabis as opposed to pre-rolled joints. Handing out free joints, they learned after doing as much during President Trump's 2017 inauguration, leads to people smoking them on site and violating city law, in addition to being problematic to pandemic health protocol. 4 years ago, we handed out over 10,000 joints, and we licked those joints. DCMJ co-founder Adam Ettinger told DCists, today we think that's an issue. That sounds like an issue. Baggie recipients might consider passing off their dank freebie to those currently suffering from the coronavirus, as a recent study found that cannabis extracts could possibly reduce the risk of dying from COVID-19. Researchers at the University of Lethbridge in Canada reported that the human body's often fatal cytokine storm, during which the malfunctioning immune system attacks itself, was calmed by using 3 promising strands of sativa plants. Hopefully y'all bear with me. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a video clip and come back with my point of view on it. It's kind of wild to me, honestly. I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Here we go.
COVID-19 vaccines administered in Washington, D.C. this spring may come with a bag of weed. In an effort to encourage COVID-19 vaccines and legalize cannabis legislation, reform activist group DC Marijuana Justice announced a free cannabis giveaway dubbed Joints for Jabs in a press release. Forbes reports the group looks to highlight the need for further cannabis policy reform at the national and local level, while bringing awareness to the importance of equitable distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. The press release from DCMJ reads, to celebrate this momentous occasion and thank people for getting vaccinated, dozens of DC home growers will lawfully distribute free bags of cannabis outside vaccination centers as soon as the general public is able to get vaccinated. Local cannabis growers have already pledged 3 pounds of marijuana for the giveaways, and organizers are hoping to have amassed 5 pounds of pot by the time the events begin.
All right, so let's talk about it. It almost sounds like bribery to me. It's like, if you want the vaccine, go get the vaccine. They got to give you incentives. I mean, if they start saying they giving away $100,000, I might be in line. I mean, come on. And not saying that I'm with or against the vaccine. I personally don't want it, but I'm not knocking anybody that does. I mean, it's like they playing on your intelligence. They know good and well that some people gotta have their weed just like some people want crack. I don't advocate for either. But I just thought that was a wild story, something a little lighter than the last news story. And I just wanted to bring it to you. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Are you going to change your mind and get in line? Because I know there's some smokers listening to this. Now that is for DC. Once again, that's for DC. So everybody else in other areas that might be listening to this, hold your horses. But I'm just being real. That's some strange stuff. Because you might be getting in line to get a bag and end up in a trick bag. Blessings to all. Thank you for tuning in.